Hi Scorpio, thank you for joining me for your mid-month reading, your full moon and mid-April reading. I hope everyone's been doing well. How are the energies treating you? The energies are a bit erratic and all over the place, especially since this full moon, which is really provoking quite a few of us. So I wouldn't be so surprised if tension is in the air, but the best part is that tension is about to be released after this full moon passes. We have 10 days to make the most out of the energy that the full moon is promoting. That energy is one that is really just pushing everyone on the edge of attainment. What you attain, though, will be completely in your power. This is not something a reading can predict. So before I dive into the reading, I have a couple of things to say, things to mention. We will be looking at this reading in relation to your monthly reading, the one that was done just around a week ago. So I'll remind you of the cards that popped up. They were the Two of Swords, the Moon, Ten of Swords, Three of Wands, the Magician, and with the Deviant Moon we clarified and we got the Hermit, the Tower, the Eight of Swords, the High Priestess reversed, and Justice. So as you can recall, there were a lot of major arcanas and quite a lot of anxiety. Anxiety was rampant in your reading with the Ten of Swords, the High Priestess being in the reverse, which decreases your intuitive power, and Scorpio thrives on intuitive power. So when you are lacking in this, then it's like your superpower is taking a hike, you know what I mean? And of course we have the Tower, which is quite dramatic, quite extreme, the Hermit, which emphasizes Scorpio's deep thought as it is, and the Eight of Swords suggesting that we cause our own blockages, Three of Wands contemplating on our careers, etc., so on and so forth. So in general it was not a light reading, and let's see if any of these cards repeat themselves now. I'm also using a different deck which will further reveal to us anything that needs to actually be paid attention to. I'm using the Thoth deck. This is a very special deck to me, extremely special. I'm using it for the first time with these mid-month readings, going against my initial judgment of the fact that I needed to wait around 2 years before using this deck because it's rather complicated to master. However, I'm being drawn to use it, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, you guys, let's see what's in store for you this mid-April. And while I'm shuffling, I just want to extend my thanks to all my subscribers, new and old. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, but you're a fan of my videos, I'd love to have you on board and be a part of my community. So feel free to hit the subscribe button. I get awkward when it comes to promoting my channel. I don't like to promote my channel, but I would like to thrive here on YouTube, so. Okay. Lovely. Okay. So as your central issue here, we're dealing with this Four of Wands, we're dealing with Venus, we're dealing with a sense of completion, we're dealing with relationships sometimes with this Four of Wands. However, crossing you is this rather ominous Devil card, Capricorn. Earthly pleasures, obsessions and addictions. When it is placed in such a position as a challenge, then we are not being encouraged here to hold on to the central issue, which is that of a relationship. And when I think of the Four of Wands, I also think about marriage. So we are trying to form a healthier relationship, so to speak, one that will not turn into a toxic bond, because the devil talks about toxic attractions. It talks about focusing too much on the material realm, the material aspect of things. So what is it that your partner can provide for you? What is it that you can benefit from being a part of this relationship? And when we think about coming together, humanistically speaking, we should really be acting out of love and unconditional love. But considering the environment that we live in these days, we also have to be more practical about who it is that we partner up with. So sometimes it's not always all about love. Sometimes it is about compatibility and what we can bring to the relationship here. Crowning you is this is temperance, in other words. Major Arcana art. So Scorpio is aware that sometimes things can get a little bit out of hand, be a bit topsy-turvy, and you know that it's in your best interest to temper yourself, your attitudes, and your approach to certain situations. But there is this element that we don't have as much control as we would like to this month. Let me remind you of the moon card that came out in your general monthly reading. And this does talk about sometimes being overly pulled by our emotions and not being able to think logically. But you're working on this. Here it is again. The moon. The moon. This time as a foundation card, which also makes this a card of recent history. We're still talking about this month though, essentially. So, and I'm not surprised, I'm seeing this as a recurring theme now in the mid-month readings. Cards that were towards the end of your reading for the actual full month reading are appearing either as central issues, challenges, or base cards, so foundation cards. So things are neurotic, we are nervous, we're tense, but we are trying to get a hold of ourselves. In our recent past as well, another recent past card is this Prince of Cups here. Again, we're talking about so much emotion coming in, or perhaps an offer of emotion that is made our way, an offer of love it can be, a kind person willing to help us out. So in general, you can be receiving support at this time, support that reassures you that things are going to be okay. But again, there's this push and pull between hearing people support us, want to support us and push us in the right direction, versus our own inner not necessarily conflict, but we are struggling in our own way deep down inside, and we don't want to trouble ourselves any further. We are really trying to get rid of our obsessive tendencies to go around in circles and try to control certain people around us, especially if we're talking about a relationship here. If we see people not headed in the correct direction, for example, sometimes Scorpio feels the need to do something about this, but rather silently, right? So we want to help people, but we don't impose our opinions onto them. usually, but this time around you might feel inclined to say things, do things, even when people haven't asked for your help. Depending on who you're dealing with, right? This will either be appreciated or abhorred. That's a very strong word, so no. But because it is such an exuberant full moon, there is so much that can happen, and both positive and negative. Depending on the strong or weak characters that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, people are going to deal with this full moon energy very differently. So if you are approaching another fellow water sign to help them, like a Cancer or a Pisces, they're not going to say no. They'll actually welcome your help. However, if you're approaching an air sign, or a fire sign, they might just get irritated. Okay? And I'm seeing here as a kind of one of your future cards, more immediate future, is Three of Swords. So you do need to watch out here. We don't want to end up feeling disappointed or hurt. You come to this reading with intention, as this Ace of Swords tells me that if there was fog, it's clearing up. Like I said, after this full moon, things will become a lot easier to handle. You will see things clearer. You will be able to think clearly. You'll be able to handle things with more courage. You will not be clouding your judgment with so much emotion anymore. So there's quite a big difference between this Prince of Cups and this moon in comparison to the trajectory that you seem to be moving in. So we are leaving this water element that sure we can feel rather comfortable in, because Scorpio is a water element, and we are moving towards thoughts, swords, wands, fire. So we're moving into fire, and we're moving into air. Essentially, we're moving out of our comfort zone, perhaps endeavoring in things that usually are outside of our comfort zone. Basically, we're taking a little bit of a risk here. In your environment is this Nine of Wands, so yes, feeling a lot more courageous, able to move forward. Yet again, okay, there is some slight tension. Some may feel a bit reluctant. You're not so sure if you're making the right move, but you're using this encouragement to move forward. As long as you have this encouragement on your side, then you're going to be less likely to allow fear to take over. Sure, you may feel a little bit upset with this Three of Swords coming up for you, unfortunately, or this Three of Swords also affecting perhaps someone in your environment, or more than one person in your environment. There is a really healthy balance between being there for one another and being strong, and upset that you could be moving away. So while your friends and family encourage you to move into the next stage of the year of your life, what was that? While your friends and family encourage you to move forward, and you are experiencing some fear, I just need to make sure that we don't lose any cards. So, right. This has been happening literally every reading. Okay. Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad that I double checked? It's the Ace of Cups. So we know that this is coming out of so much love. Like I'm saying, you might be afraid to move forward. But as long as you are receiving ample support from friends and family, it's coming from a very good place. It's coming from a place of love, and it's coming from a sense of strength that the people you are with have. They have this ability to let you go because they know that this is the best for you. Even if you don't see it, just yet, because it's going to be a big move. It's rather exciting at the end of the day. And it's okay to feel upset. And that's just human nature. We all revolve around each other's circles, and that revolution, it entails experiencing loss and gains as well. You will always experience a new gain with a loss. With a gain, there will always come a loss as well, though. I mean, it's just a revolving cycle. People come, people go, you come, you go. One day it's you leaving, and one day it's those around you who are leaving. It's the ones that care about us the most, though, that realize that this is just one way of us strengthening our life and presence here on earth. You cannot continue on your life path if you're being held back. And unfortunately, there can be some selfish people around who don't want the best for us. They want the best for them. They want something that's going to satisfy them in the short term. So they will prevent you from moving forward by making you feel guilty, making you feel ashamed, trying to convince you that you're not making the right moves, so on and so forth. But I don't see that here for you. I don't, because in general right now, everyone actually is being encouraged to walk away from people who have just continuously been hurting them, who have been more selfish than they have been careful. You will notice that these people don't care. You'll notice that these people don't reach out to you at all. If you don't talk to them, and if you don't show them praise, then you might as well never ever hear from them ever again. Like, they'll just disappear. They're just too stuck in their own world, their own mental bubble. They can't possibly feel happy for you at this time. Those are the people who have selfish intentions, who never really were your friends. I see this Ace of Cups as hope and realization, actually. Realization that you have very good people in your life. So yeah, it's kind of a shame if you have to let go of them. Not let go of them in a bad way, but it's kind of a shame that you have to move away from them. And you are moving away, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really emotionally taxing. But because of the nice mix of cups and swords here, I can say that it's not going to feel as bad as the Eight of Cups makes it seem. There's a nice balance, okay? There's a nice balance. It's not as extreme as this Prince of Cups. It's not as overwhelming as this Prince of Cups and this Moon card. From this hazy, foggy Moon card, we move into clarity. We are starting to become a lot clearer about where we need to go, where we need to be, how we need to behave, who we need to be around. And perhaps that makes a few of us feel a bit sad, because we understand finally that this means we have to naturally leave behind people, situations that were a part of our life, whom we tried to make things work with, but these people may have failed us time and time again. But the ones that stick around are the ones that are able to see past their own selfish needs. They're the ones that will stick by you. They are the ones that will give you that motivation to make that last mile towards your future for the best. They're the ones, okay, that will fill you with so much love here that even if you have to go away, you are going away, okay? You are. You will be left with so much love, so much love. With this Eight of Cups, there's usually one cup that's missing. You're one cup away from happiness. That is being provided here. That is your Ace of Cups here. That's what you take with you, even if you have to leave behind 8 other cups. You are being reminded by these people that they will always be with you, because the Ace of Cups, the volume of love that comes out of this Ace of Cups is so much grander and larger than any other Ace card, any other Cups card in the tarot, in my opinion. It tops even the 10 of Cups. The 10 of Cups is rather superficial. The 10 of Cups also denotes an ending. Like you've reached your max cap on how much love you can receive. But with the Ace of Cups, there is no cap. It's just an endless flow of love. And that's so beautiful if you think about it. So don't worry too much about this 8 of Cups being an outcome card. Okay, in combination with the 3 of Swords. It's just rather sad. But it's okay, because there's no need to be sad. We're being countered here by 2 really lovely cards. 3 awesome cards here. The Ace of Cups, strength in your environment, and the Ace of Swords, mental clarity. What more do you want? At the bottom of the deck is success. The 6 of Pentacles in this deck is success, because it talks about having the capacity to give back what people give you, and having the capacity to receive what you've given those people as well. It's a fair reception. It's a fair give and take, and that's so beautiful. That's so important for Scorpio, because Scorpio tends to give so much, you know? Scorpio feels so much, and Scorpio doesn't rub it in anyone's face. So that's why sometimes you end up feeling abused and used, and that's horrible. But in this case, no, you are with good people. You are, and you're moving away from the people who just never behaved fairly. So that's beautiful, Scorpio. I hope that you like the way this reading turned out, because I did, and I'm looking forward to what's coming up for us in May. So much excitement. Maybe I will share some news with all of you a bit later, once I'm done with these mid-month readings. In the meanwhile, have an awesome month ahead. Bye, you guys. Namaste.